Hello and welcome to our YouTube video on World War I, also known as the Great War. In this video, we will explore the causes, battles, and impact of this devastating conflict that shaped the course of the 20th century. The Great War, as it was known at the time, lasted from 1914 to 1918 and involved most of the world's major powers. It was a complex and multifaceted conflict, with a wide range of causes that had been building up for decades. One of the main causes of World War I was the complex system of alliances and rivalries between the major powers of Europe. These alliances had been formed in the late 19th and early 20th centuries in response to growing tensions between the major powers, particularly Germany and France. Germany, which had only become a united country in 1871, was keen to establish itself as a major power in Europe. It embarked on a program of rapid industrialization and military expansion, which alarmed its neighbors, particularly France and Russia. In addition to these political tensions, there were also economic and social factors that contributed to the outbreak of war. The rapid industrialization of Europe had led to increased competition for resources and markets, which in turn fueled nationalist and imperialist ambitions. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary in June 1914 was the spark that ignited the war. The assassination, carried out by a Serbian nationalist, led to a series of diplomatic crises and ultimatums between the major powers. Germany, hoping to capitalize on the growing tensions between Serbia and Austria-Hungary, issued a blank check of support to Austria-Hungary. When Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia on July 28, 1914, Germany mobilized its army and declared war on Russia and France. The first major battle of the war was the Battle of the Marne, fought between the Germans and the French in September 1914. This battle ended in a stalemate and marked the beginning of a long and brutal war of attrition. Over the next 4 years, both sides would engage in a series of bloody battles, including the Battle of Verdun and the Battle of the Somme, which would claim the lives of millions of soldiers and civilians. World War I also saw the introduction of new and devastating weapons, such as poison gas, tanks, and airplanes. These weapons transformed the nature of warfare and contributed to the staggering loss of life during the conflict. In 1917, the entry of the United States into the war gave the Allies a much-needed boost. With the arrival of American troops, the tide of the war began to turn in favor of the Allies. Finally, in 1918, Germany was forced to sue for peace. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in June of that year, ended the war and imposed harsh reparations on Germany. The war had a profound impact on the world, setting the stage for World War II and shaping the course of the 20th century. The impact of World War I was far-reaching and long-lasting. The war had a devastating effect on the economies and societies of Europe, leading to the collapse of empires, the rise of new nations, and the emergence of new political ideologies such as communism and fascism. The war also had a profound impact on the role of women in society. With so many men away at the front, women were forced to take on new roles in the workforce and in society as a whole. This paved the way for greater gender equality in the decades that followed. The war also had a significant impact on the arts and literature. Many artists and writers, including Wilfred Owen and Siegfried Sassoon, drew on their experiences of the war to create works that vividly depicted the horror and futility of the conflict. In conclusion, World War I was a complex and multifaceted conflict that had far-reaching impacts on the world. Its causes were rooted in political, economic, and social tensions that had been building up for decades, and its impact was felt across the globe. The war transformed the nature of warfare and led to the introduction of new and devastating weapons. It also had a profound impact on the role of women in society and on the arts and literature. As we reflect on the legacy of World War I, it is important to remember the sacrifices made by the millions of soldiers and civilians who were affected by this conflict. Their courage and resilience in the face of unimaginable hardship continue to inspire us today. Thank you for watching.